In the last episode, we showed you how we've made these seams. We made this seam out of the polyester high build primer versus using the red tooling gel. I'm going to use red tooling gel to make this one. This is the last one we have to make, and then after this, we're ready to make our mold. So I got to order a bunch of material and get this part done. So I'm gonna spray this with red tooling gel. I'm gonna do the whole process all over again. Maybe this time I'll give you guys a little bit more tips for those who don't know how to roll out mat. Like how to roll it out, like the easiest way to do it. Honestly, the easiest way to do it is start from the center and work your way out. Don't push the bubbles into the mat, not like into it this way, but like roll it out. Like if I was laminating this, I would pull my bubbles towards the edges like that. I'll show you that as I laminate this last one that we're doing here. Man, it's been a long road. I'm actually kind of nervous because we're ready to make this mold after this, and it's, I don't know, I've been doing this for 29 years, and every time I get to this point I get nervous. I'm like, man, did I miss something? Is there something I'm overlooking? What's going on? Is this thing going to be as awesome as I think it's going to be? So yeah, let's get going on it. Before I spray this, I got to go and I got to fix these tooling marks that I made in here. Some people just call them holes, but they're made to hold the tooling down. So I got to fill those in, and I'm going to fill them in with some wax. That's how simple it is. So you can use petroleum clay for that. That's another use for the petroleum clay. Or you can use Bondo. It just depends on what you want to use. Wax is pretty fast and simple and cheap. So I just go ahead and throw the wax in there. You want to let it set up a little bit before you spray your tooling gel or whatever you're going to spray on that. The surface of the wax dries a little bit, and it makes it so stuff will tack to it. But if you just put it on there like that, it'll repel the paint or the primer or the gel coat away from it. So give it about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. So we have our tooling gel on there. It's sprayed red. One thin layer of polyester resin on there, and now I'm going to lay it up with the 1.5 ounce mat, and then 1 layer of 3 ounce mat. Just like all these other ones. It's kind of a redundant process. I'm not going to get into too much detail on this one. I'm just going to get this done so that we can get ready to make the mold. This is the last one, and then we got to do some chemical treating and we'll be able to make the mold. So if you want a lot of information about how all this was done, go watch our previous videos. I go into quite a bit of detail on how to make these seams and the do's and don'ts of things and whatever. So I'm going to get this laid up, and I'll see you tomorrow. 1 layer of 1.5 ounce mat, 1 layer of 3 ounce mat with polyester resin. We're going to go ahead and pull this apart now. I'm going to drill our registers. Same thing as before. You know how we have these registers here. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, you're putting a lot of tooling marks in that plug. Well, I am, but I need them. And we're going to get rid of them, and I'll show you how to get rid of them when we get to that point. But you'll notice we're not putting any tooling marks on the surfaces you're going to see. This is the bottom of the camper. So hypothetically or realistically, I could just leave all those tooling marks there and nobody would ever care. But we're going to get this pulled apart and get ready, and we're ready to make a mold after this. We're going to put these seams in there and get going on it. Yeah, put all the registers in the seam so we can put it back exactly where it goes before we even started pulling it. Took all the registers out of this side. This side's going to be garbage when we're done. And I'll line up all of the things that we made from these. So we went from metal to plugs off the metal. So this is a plug to making a plug for the mold. This is the seams. They're all finished. So we went from metal to that. So these are an exact copy of the metal. One of the reasons why we did this is you see how tight that fits against there for molding. When we did that with the metal and we showed you how to fit that Bondo in there to tighten it up to get that, well, now we have something that's not fragile, it's not Bondo, it's not a rigid piece of steel, it's an actual piece of molding material that we're going to be able to use to make a mold. You don't want to do this whole process and start relying on something that you don't know is going to work. So now we're 100% positive that this is going to do what we want it to do. It's all released. It's got its registers in there. I don't know if you can see them. So when the mold gets bolted together, it's going to lock together and not move. So we are ready to make a mold. We've chemical treated it, and we're ready to go. I don't know if we're going to be able to make a video next week because we're going to have to get this thing laid up, and we have to change our schedule around because it's going to take us about 3 days. So the video might be late next week, but the next video is going to be us making a mold of this. Finally, out of all the time. What did we do? I think we have, hold on, let me do some math. Okay, so I did the math on it. We have 232 hours into this. That's how long that took to make that plug and all of the seams to make a 4-piece mold. Which isn't bad. I mean, that's not bad. So you guys, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and tune in to the next episode if my camera will focus. What happened? Ugh. Okay, so tune in, please, to the next episode. It'll be us making a mold. Thanks for watching, you guys. Like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support. Thank you.